Today we'll solve the day 2 problem, which is the gift shop problem, where a younger elves was playing a gift shop computer database to add whole bunch of invalid product IDs. So we have to find the invalid or the fake product IDs. This is also two parts of a problem. In the part one, we have to find those fake product IDs or invalid product IDs where there's some patterns repeated twice, and in the second part we have to find those product IDs where some patterns repeated more than twice. Okay, this is the actual problem statement. So if you see, there's some examples. 11 and 22 has two invalid IDs, both 11 and 22, and from 95 to 115 there is one invalid ID. So 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. So 99 is invalid because these two are repeating. 9 is repeating, right? So any number, any number is repeated twice, so those will be counted as a invalid ID. This is for the first questions. And for the second question, so for the second question, we have to find the at least twice. We have to find those IDs which basically where we found the repeated signals at least twice. So here 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 repeated twice, and here 1 2 3 1 2 3 repeated thrice, and here 1 2 is repeated five times. So and here 1 is repeated 7 times. So all are will be the invalid. So now let's go to the Excel to get it more understanding, like how we solve the problem. So till now we have understand the problem is similar like this. There's could be number one. Just a second. Yeah. So let's take an example 1 2 1 2 and 1 2. This is a fake or invalid, right? This is the invalid ID because of this. There is some repetition, right? More than if we take the first case. So in the first case, this will be valid because of there is no twice repeated number, right? But in the second case it will be invalid because of we found more than twice repeated number. So yeah, and so we'll solve the problem. Let me first write this some kind of pseudocode, like how we'll solve the problem. So we'll basically create two function. In the one function we'll check the part one, okay, and then another function will check the part two. In the part one, in part one function we'll check only the repeated twice, and here we'll check where more than twice, right? So in the part one function, part one, we should accept a number, right, the actual number, and then we'll convert the number into text, okay, and we'll get the length value of the text. So text dot length, and after getting the length we will check if it is odd. If is odd, then there is no need to check. We can skip this part because in the odd case, like 1 to 1, in 1 to 1, that there can be any immediate repetition, right? Yeah. So but this will be false. There will no, there is no fake or invalid ID. But if it's not odd, then we'll check we'll basically check the half of it. So length divided by 2, and then first half will extract the first half 0 to the half, and the second half equal to half to end. Okay. Now if the both the first half and second half are same equal, then that's mean there's a fake ID. That means there's a match. Like if 1 2 and 1 2, so if I divided 4, then here in the middle, so this 1 2 and 1 2 are repeated, so that's why we'll return as true. Okay, yeah. Yes, this ID, the particular ID, this is number, the actual this number is actually the product ID. Okay, so this number is a fake ID, so we'll return as true if both are equal. Otherwise we'll return as false. This is for the first case, the part one. Now let's check the part two. We'll do the same thing. First we'll uh, create the text value or the string value of it, then we'll get the length of actual number and the half of it. So length similar to the previous one, length equal to 2. Now we'll loop through. Okay, we'll loop through the uh, till the half, right? So for, let's say, for this is the chunk size from 1 to the half, right? If length is not divisible by chunk size properly, then there is no need to check. There is no need to check. We can simply continue to the next chunk. Okay, next chunk. So this chunk size, let's suppose if you take an example, if you take an 1 to 1 to 6 digit, right? So this is the 6 digit. So length will be the 6, half will be the 3. So chunk size will be from 1 to 3, right? From 1 to 3. Now we'll check since the 6 modulo 1. if whether it is equal to 0 or not. Then similar to 1 2 3 4 5 6, not 6, 3, till the 3. Why till the 3? Let's suppose for chunk size. What is chunk size? Chunk size is, you see, nothing, this one, right? So from 1 to 3, so chunk size will, so chunk size will be 1 2 and 3, right? And the length is, we know the length is 6, right? So here we're checking the length. So length is 6. So now we'll check modulo chunk size not equal to 0. That's mean there is no need to check. Then we can continue 2 1 2 1 2, and chunk for the, we're looping through 1 2 3 1 2 3, right? So for the 1, we'll create a one chunk variable. We will create one chunk variable uh, where it will be, the chunk will be 1, because chunk size is 1, and so we'll take 1 as a string, right? Yeah, in the first iteration it will be 1, and then we'll create another variable, repeat count, repeat count. Repeat count equal to the actual length divided by the chunk size, this chunk size, right? This chunk size, this is the repeat count. Why this is the repeat, why we are using the repeat count? Because it one table, so here is chunk size, and we are creating one variable chunk, right? And there is one variable repeat count. Okay, let's say repeat underscore count. Okay, so the for our case 1 2 1 2 1 1 2, another half is 3, so we'll check 1 2 and 3. And for 1 for 1 our chunk will be 1, and for 2 our chunk will be 2, and for 3 our chunk will be 1 to 1, right? And we'll basically create another string with the repeat count. So count will be the 6 divided by the chunk size. Okay, 6 divided by chunk size, 6 divided by 6. So for the ones it is 1, so it will be 6. For 6 by 2 it will be 3 repeat count, and for 3 it will be 6 divided by 3, so 2. So we'll use the repeat count to create another string, and then we'll check whether that string is present in the our given number or given string, right? So our chunk is 1 and repeat count is 6, so we'll create another function, another string. So chunk dot repeat function, here will be the repeat count. Okay, so ultimate string will be 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, is this present? Is not in this string, no, this is not present, so we'll return nothing. Then for 3, so we'll create 1 2 1 2 1 2. We'll check if this is present. If it is present, then only we return the return from the loop. So if we return from the loop, then they eventually return from the function, otherwise it will continue. For let's say for this case 2, we have to the repeat is 2 and the chunk is 1 to 1, so 1 to 1 and 1 to 1, 1 to 1, you know, and 1 to 1 is not matched, so we'll continue. And if since there is no further iteration, so we'll by default our function will return false. Okay, and the function, which function? The part2 function. So here we'll return false. So this will be our two function. Using these two function we'll check IDs. Yeah, the answer, in the answer we have submit, basically we have to submit the sum of those adding up all numbers in build IDs. So we have to sum all the matched IDs in build IDs. And then now let's move to the code editor. I have already created the data folder. You can create the data folder using the cargo command, cargo init data. I have already created it, and I have copied all the sample input data from the adventofcode. You can also get it from there. And so now let's start writing the code. So as we discussed, so we'll need two functions. One is for the part1 and another one for the part2, right? Now let's first get the part1 function. When is exact double, this will the product ID use 64, and from this function return the boolean. And same, first let's turn up the edit prediction. And now there will be another function called is repeated for the part2. This will also accept the same product ID and will return boolean. Okay. Yeah, now let string equal product ID dot to string. This is basically 1 2 1 2 2 1 2 1 2. Now string dot length. If the length is odd, then we just have to return false. Otherwise, we have to check the half portion, the first half and the second half. Right. So length equal to 2, and simply return string that the first half string and the half. Okay, wait a second. There's something issue with it. What is mentioning? Syntax error, syntax error. Oh, it should be. Sorry, maybe I should do that. Okay, let me read it properly. Yeah, this is done. So now the part 2 function is repeated. Now we'll do the same thing, but for here we'll create. I'll have to do the loop, right? Remember, from 1 to the first half, turn length in 1 to length divided by 2. Yeah. First, I will check. We have to check the length modulo. If it is odd, then continue. That's mean skip if it doesn't divide evenly. Okay. Now we'll create the another chunk variable or the pattern variable, which will be will get till the pattern length. Right? So this will something like this. So for 1 to 1 to 1 to, and pattern length for pattern length equal to 2, it will be 1 2, right? And for pattern length 3, it will be 1 to 1. Okay. Now let's calculate the repeat count. Length divided by pattern length. That's when the chunk size. Now if the repeat count if less than 2, that's when we don't have to do anything, because of we need at least 2 repeats to be invalid, right? And now let's repeated string equal to pattern dot repeat, and then the repeat count. Okay. If repeat repeated string is equal to the actual string, then it will be written true. Right? That will form the match. Then we return, otherwise it will be written false. Okay. And you know, if we don't put semicolon and at the end of the file function, then it will automatically treat as a return statement. So our 2 function is done. Now let's move to the main function. So the input path equal to basically input.txt. Now we have to create it. We have to use another function from the standard model to read the this input file, input text file. If it's read to string, this one will use this function. Let input read to string. Here the input path. Then expect this is one kind of estimate. Other if it is if it returns proper data, then this means proper result. Then if this file is properly open, then it will return the result. It's a string. Otherwise, throw the error. If it's throw error, then we simply show that this message to the console terminal. Could not read input path. Okay, input the text. Sorry. Yeah. Now let's create mutable variable, 2 mutable variables. Some part 1 to 0. Both will be u64. Let some part 2 0 u64. It's a shorter version to write the 0 with the u64 type. Okay, this is a shorter version. So if we write this, then this will automatically get the u64 with the default value 0. Now we'll do the loop. to for the each line for the each line for the each range. The range in input dot trim, and we have to split it with the comma, right? Okay, now let range equal to range dot, let's change this as well, let's change this as well. Now let start string and end string equal to range dot split once, the delimiter is underscore hyphen, and then unwrap. Let start, this is the u64, start string dot parse dot unwrap, and this is the end string unwrap. Now we'll do the sorry, this loop. So for product id in start till the end, here dot equal means it will use include the end variable end number as well, otherwise it excludes. Now if is exact product id, then increase some part with the product id. If is repeated, then product id some part into product id. Okay, it's done. Now here let's put console the thing, part 1 data result, part 1 result, sum part 1, part 2 result, sum part 2. Okay, so now let's recap. First we are reading the file and then starting with the ranges with the comma separated from the comma separated, then get the start and end string, and then loop through the start and end string, or start and end product, then use the exact double and its repeated function to check the thing, to check the exact double or the whether it is repeated or not. If I run, first let me check the cargo check. Yeah, it's all clear now. Cargo run. Yeah, so yeah, this is the result based on this input for it, and I'll post the code into the same repository, and I'll share the repository link into the description below. Thank you.